If they are a different kind of opposition, well.
It was his birthday. I congratulated him yesterday.
Hey, we already know Damien and how many lies he spews on this panel.
Arturo Ávila, spokesperson for Morena, had an awkward moment on the show Mientras, Tanto, and Mexico, when the journalist surprised him with a question about Rocha Moya, which caused laughter among the panelists and left the Morena member without a clear answer. In this video, I'll discuss the debate's most controversial moments and the criticism sparked by Morena's silence. The host of Mientras, Tanto, and Mexico put the Morena spokesperson, Arturo Ávila, on the spot during a discussion panel on her show. At the start of the conversation, the Morena legislator boasted about being at the Zocalo in Mexico City to watch the World Cup opening and the match between the Mexican national team and South Africa. However, Adela Micha interrupted him to point out a difference with the case of Claudia Scheinbaum. The journalist recalled that the president did not go to either the Estadio Azteca or the Zocalo, but instead chose to watch the match from a smaller, more controlled space in the Gustavo A. Madero borough, accompanied by the head of government, Clara Brugada.
I was at the Zocalo watching the opening match between Mexico and South Africa. Unlike the president who says, no, look at the presidency.
Later on, the conversation turned to the topic of security. In that context, Arturo Ávila stated that his opponent's narrative has been wrong because, according to him, they have relied on violence, lies, and a lack of seriousness. He also rejected the accusations that label Morena as a narco party and assured that the public knows that the government's link to crime have been those of the opposition and not those from his own party. For that reason, he felt that his opponents should apologize to the public and start presenting proposals. However, Adela interrupted him again with an unexpected question. She asked him if he had already congratulated Ruben Rocha Moya on his birthday, a comment that made the panelists laugh. The Morena spokesperson replied he was unaware the former Sinaloa governor had celebrated his birthday. Right after, Adela commented that it seemed like Morena had already left him alone, even though before they would even defend him. And Damian Cepeda echoed that point, pointing out that apparently no one wants to talk about that topic anymore.
They've called you a narco government when people know that you were the only real narco government, right? And he's always said, hey, ask for forgiveness and make proposals. Be a different kind of opposition, really, a different one. Happy birthday?
Hey.
No, I congratulated you. I didn't know it was your birthday.
But let's see. The reference wasn't casual, and it's that Rocha Moya turned 77 this June 15th in the midst of the greatest political isolation of his career. No national Morena, leader, governor, influential senator, or the party leadership dedicated a public congratulation to him. The only signs of support came from his daughter, 2 local deputies, some state cabinet secretaries, and lower-ranking officials. A contrast that reflects the distance Morena has taken from the governor since the United States government accused him of alleged ties to crime. Continuing with the topic of Sinaloa, Cepeda also stated at the table that what Morena has not done is fight against the corrupt politicians who ally themselves with criminals. As an example, she mentioned the accusations against Rocha Moya and pointed out that 60 days have already passed since they became public without the ruling party saying a word about it. The PAN senator argued that solving this problem is simple: break the pact of impunity and go after all corrupt officials, regardless of whether they held office 20 years ago or are part of the current government. Meanwhile, Arturo Ávila avoided responding directly to the accusations. He simply stated that Damian Cepeda is used to telling a lot of lies during debate panels, and immediately after, he diverted the discussion toward the polls, which show high public approval for Morena.
The formal accusation from the United States against the governor, Rocha Moya, and by the way, it'll soon be 60 days and he hasn't said a peep. What's the solution? Break the impunity pact? We already know Damian and how many lies he spews on this panel.
What do you think? Do you believe Morena is abandoning Ruben Rocha Moya? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and enable notifications.